of breaking news he wants to share with us. What's going on, JD?
Governor Sisolak just announced that Nevada is going to open up on the same timeline as California, Oregon, Washington, and Colorado. And you want to talk about political? Those are 5 Democratic states, Chris.
Well, they're 5 states that are in a region, right?
They are all Democratic. But honestly, they're all doing very well with the virus.
Right.
Washington was the first ever death. They had the nursing home that had Kirkland had like 44, 66 people that died, and they had some people in Seattle that died from the Diamond Princess cruise ship. But their positive testing rates are all below 10%. They're in the bottom. They're in the bottom as far as caseload. Obviously, California has a massive population, but California has the cases that New York has divided by 10 as well as the deaths. So all those states are doing very, very well controlling the virus thus far. So hopefully they open soon. But they're all opening together, and they are all historically Democratic states.
I just do want to point out, though, that they are in the same region. That's right.
I get that, Chris.
In fact, they are.
But you talk about
you
talk about politics, though. I mean,
yes, I think politics should not be involved when it comes to the coronavirus pandemic.
Obviously, under these circumstances, they are clearly. Well, now, why is Arizona not included? Why is Utah not included?
They should be. I think all the states.
And I'll tell you why there aren't, because they have Republican governors, Chris.
Well,
in my opinion.
Well, then, if they're making decisions,
you have 5 Democratic governors deciding when 75 to 100 million people are going to be able.
All right, I got to interject here.
Why are we making decisions based on politics?
Let me interject here.
I'm not. The decision was made. It wasn't by me.
Okay,
I'm just reporting on the decision. What's up?
You just said you don't want it to be about politics, and you're saying these are all Democrats.
Right.
I find it very interesting that every day, when Donald Trump does his coronavirus press conference.
What about us?
If I could just finish. No, it's not what about us.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. We're talking about the coronavirus, and we're talking about.
He's the tip of the spear politically.
No,
Donald Trump.
Hold on. If I could just finish. We're talking about the coronavirus, and you're saying how angry it gets you that politics are involved. Why don't you ever speak up when Donald Trump talks about the elections during a coronavirus pandemic?
He never talks about the elections.
Yes. Excuse me?
He does not talk about the elections.
Really? He doesn't talk about Joe Biden, and he doesn't talk about Sleepy Joe and the elections?
He's never once talked about the 2020 election. Does he talk about Sleepy Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Democrats? Yes. He has never once specifically mentioned the 2020 November election in any press conference.
So you don't think he does anything political in his press conference?
I'm just saying that's what you said. He talks about the election. I'm saying he has not done that.
He has not done that. He goes after Joe Biden.
Of course he does.
He's talked about Joe Biden. If you know that we do have an election in November.
Well,
hold on. Joe Biden is the guy that he is running against. So don't tell me Donald Trump doesn't make this about politics. He absolutely does. He goes after Democrats on a daily basis. If you are going to call out these governors and say, well, they're all doing the same thing, even though, as Chris mentioned, they all border one another. And if you're going to attack them and say this is about politics, then you better be consistent and also attack the president of the United States.
I'll tell you what. Utah and Arizona are also bordered by Nevada, and they are not included in this conversation.
But again, you're deflecting
I find it very coincidental that those 2 states, and they're both doing great with the virus, but they're both Republican states.
All right.
Now, did Donald Trump mention that Joe Biden mentioned how when he created the travel ban, how Joe Biden called it xenophobic? Yes. Did he mention the conversations that they had when Joe Biden took those comments back? Yes. But he's never once specifically mentioned the 2020 election or November. He has never done that one time.
The whole basis.
But does he make inferences to Joe Biden, who is his Democratic opponent? Of course. Same with Nancy Pelosi. Same with Chuck Schumer.
So you don't think Trump has made it political in any of his press conferences?
I'm not saying he has. I'm just saying he's never mentioned the election. Of course, he's made it political to a degree.
Okay, so criticize the president.
No, JD, I'm going to destroy your point right here.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Because Donald Trump's entire basis, his entire reasoning behind his opinion of we need to open up the country immediately is because he wants to protect himself when it comes to the 2020 election. Obviously, this is going to destroy the economy, right, guys? I mean, this is something where the economy has taken a monstrous hit.
Chris,
and that's horrible for Donald Trump politically.
People are unemployed.
It's horrible for Donald Trump politically, though. That's his main, in my opinion, it's his main motivation for his perspective when it comes to this virus and how he wants to handle it.
All right, let's